To do this as part of our panels. I just think it's such a way to give back. Could all of you take out your phones and go onto Instagram and follow Left Bank Art, because it really does matter to them that they're getting, a little moment where you can see their stuff. They're so proud of it. They work really, really hard in their manufacturing facility and they move things through so quickly. So that's really exciting. And I have this great panel. They are amazing friends and such experts in our industry. Let's all sit down and we're going to introduce you all. Let's start off with Shannon Jam. Why don't you introduce yourself?
Okay.
Give us a little brief on who you are and what you do.
Emergency.
I'm Shannon Gem. I'm the principal and founder of Gem Design Co. We're based in the mountains of Malibu, so that's a big market for us, Malibu and surrounds and all of LA. And then, of course, like so many of us, we work all over the country, and we are in the luxury residential sector. I love historic preservation remodel. I love just regular remodel, and I love a new build. All of it. All of it.
I mean, ditto, but I'm based in Palm Springs. I think you kind of nailed it. My name's Christopher Kennedy. I'm based in Palm Springs, California. I've had my firm for 20 years, and we do mostly residential interior design and about 20% commercial these days.
Yes.
And Erin.
Hi, I'm Erin Haskell, and I have a company called Testing Design for the People, and we're based in Spokane, Washington, and we have a furniture store and a design studio, and we do. I have to really like you to do remodels, but I do new construction, and yes, we do remodels, and we also do even like design for a day when it comes to our retail store. So, yeah, we do it all.
I love that. And we're talking about upselling. And it's a really, I listen to your questions all the time. And I know so many of you struggle with becoming a salesperson or having these sales conversations or understanding where your profit centers are. And so we're trying to demystify that. We're trying to talk a little bit about, first of all, giving you permission to upsell. Like, your client is going to come to you and you're going to ask them what their budget is. And so I want to start off, in luxury, and this is a question for all of you. What is a clean line between advising and selling? And how do you make sure your client feels more guided than pushed to make a better sale for you? And I think that's something that designers really internalize and maybe struggle with a little bit.
I love to meet the brief. That's my most important thing, is to do our questionnaire, to do our intake process, and really, literally listen as closely as we can to what they're really saying. Because sometimes they're saying, I really like neutrals, but I have this, I grew up with this red sofa, and you're like, I hear something there. So I love to really meet that brief and then offer what is true and say, here's the thing that, I think you actually want, and here's the thing that you use the literal phrase like, can you do this thing that I saw on Pinterest? But here's what I really hear my designer here. What do you guys do about it?
I think to meet the brief is super important. I did a whole house presentation. No, it's not on.
Right.
I did a whole house presentation yesterday, and I actually kind of always start by summarizing the brief. I mean, you guys probably do that. I'm just being 101 right now, but it really helps. I literally said, and I always ask them, something I do is I ask our clients for 3 key words of how they want the home to look, or more importantly feel, when we're all done, just to really distill it down. And those 3 words really kind of become the brand DNA of the project. And I for sure reiterate that at the beginning of the presentation. Here's what you asked for, and here's how we're delivering it. Much like you said, I'm kind of obvious because I'm just a slow guy. So I have to make it simple. I'm here's how we're meeting your brief, I kind of have right now.
Well, first of all, it drives me crazy when people say they're not good salespeople or they're afraid to be salespeople, because people are selling themselves every day. That's why I'm selling myself right now. I'm trying to tell you guys. So I hate when people say that, because then they, to be a designer, you have to sell your design. It's just the way it goes. But I would say I don't even look at it as selling. Being a designer is literally saying you're a problem solver. So you're solving their problems. And it's not, when you talk about the word budget, we like to say that budget's a bad word because it has limits. I like to say investment. And so, whether they're doing a remodel, whether they're doing a new construction, they're investing in themselves and they're investing in whatever that story that they want to tell. And so I think it's really about being that solution oriented rather than like talking about the individual products.
And you can feel free to come in.
Yes.
Yeah,
Don't worry about it. Come on in.
Come on
We're
in.
fun. We're fun.
We're glad to see
Can we have a
you.
moment?
Yes,
Please, Coke for a
yes.
second?
We're cozy. And get cozy. And anybody who comes in, just raise your hand and let them know there's a open seat near you. So
I love the reflecting it.
I love that too. It so feels like it's so authentic too, And I do think it's a weird thing in our industry that I feel like there needs to be a permission to allow yourself to sell and allow yourself to know the numbers and allow yourself to care that you're making money. And you shouldn't. You shouldn't. I mean, we all have bills to pay. Your client has bills to pay. You have bills to pay, and it's okay to make money. We're in a business.
Bravo.
Yes.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
So I want to start with Christopher. You work in a world where taste is currency. When a client first has a budget, it's clearly sometimes a guess. What do you do when that protects their dignity while still giving them the truth straight?
Just that question? Just that?
Yeah.
I'll
What are you going to start with first?
Okay. Well, first of all, it took me like 20 years to get there, maybe 15, but like when someone tells you they don't know their budget, like it's just sort of crazy. Like they don't go to the realtor and say, "Oh, show me everything in Palm Springs." Like they're not looking at condos from 500,000 to houses for 3 million or cars on the lot. Like they have a number in their head. So I think that we have to be better business people about also telling them what it's going to cost. So like it took me a long time to get here too. Like I'm sure you guys already have this, but like we like have an investment guide, and when a client emails or calls our firm, like we email this out and it tells what our minimum investment, I use that word as well, like threshold is. So like it's pretty clearly established early on. Like if you want to hire us, like here's the threshold, it's $350, I'll tell you. So like there's that right away.
$350K.
Yeah.
Nice.
Not dollars.
Can you furnish a
Yeah.
Can you furnish a house for less than $250?
$250K?
Yeah, no. Can you?
I mean, depends on the size.
Well, 3,600 square feet.
No.
Square feet, yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, 850.
Yeah.
Well, and actually, we do also break it down by square foot.
But I love
so it's
that.
also like, if you like
But that's
what you
okay.
see on this Instagram or this Pinterest post of mine, like, this room, we should be able to tell them, this room costs this much money. If you're calling me and you like this product on my website, our client spent in this range. Like, we should be upfront about those numbers really early on in the process.
Yeah. Well,
It
look,
takes a long time.
Can we all
to
steal
get
that
there.
idea?
Yes,
That's
yes,
so good. You post like, this is what my client spent on that room?
yes.
No, I don't post that.
No, in the
Oh.
investment guide.
But like our investment guide will say that,
That's cool.
and our investment guide will say, in general, our clients spend about X amount per square foot. Like if you want a Christopher Kennedy look and you like that room,
Yeah.
it's in this range per square foot.
Yeah.
I think that makes easy if you stutter like I do and you have self-worth issues like I do. Like to sometimes say the whole number out loud is really scary early on or even 20 years later. But we can say it in a price per square foot, and they often value homes on a price per square foot. Real estate is that way. Flooring is like sold that way. So I think it's a formula that clients are already used to.
Yes.
Definitely.
Yes, and I interviewed
answer the
a
question?
while
It did.
ago. There's
Yeah,
a
good.
woman on Instagram.
and I love a
called,
$350K.
her name is Laurie Parantape, Mrs. Parantape. She's great.
Yes.
And I had her on our podcast, and she does a similar thing. And she,
There's a reason
in
I'm
her
talking about
investment guide, has rooms. So it would be a couple of kitchens, a couple of bedroom, primaries, bathrooms. She does it by room, and she's like, this room costs this. This room costs this. If you want, I can't do it for less. This is what it costs for that room. That is what, and it just has an idea of they've loved you, they've come to you because they've seen your style and your look and what you do, and they don't know what the price is. So a lot of this is a ripping the Band-Aid off moment. and they don't know. And so there's a shock factor to that because everybody thinks design should be free. But this is what that costs. This is a custom thing that we're building for you. And you had something interesting to say about that too, about the store that you consider yourself. I want you to tell that story because it's so good.
I accidentally upsell all my jobs. Laurie knows this. I don't mean to. It's literally because the people are asking me for the thing, and then I show them what they said their budget was, but it was kind of arbitrary. They made it right up. Like I don't know.
Because we
How-
don't
where-
educate them.
Right.
Because we haven't.
It's so true. I mean, I'm immediately going to do what you're saying. It's the best thing. I do it for kitchens. People call with an inquiry for a kitchen, and I say my last 4 kitchens were in this price range, but it never occurred to me to really, I think that's so smart, and I hope we all do it. But I feel like one thing that we're offering, and we have to remember that we're offering it, is a hyper-curated store. What if you walked into a clothing store and everything you liked was everything you saw was your size? Everything you saw was the cut that you like for your body type. Everything you saw was the textures you like, the weight you need for the season that you're going to wear it, the thing that fits the function you said that you do most often.
The colors that look
all
good
the
on your
colors
skin.
that you like. Yeah, none of the colors that you don't like. That whole store is curated just for you. And that's what we make for our clients. When we're giving them a proposal, it has, 700 it has like 700 things in it, and they are things that I found just for them based on what they said they wanted, their architecture, their area. Every size is right, every piece is what they said they wanted. So that's a way that I've accidentally upsold a lot of jobs, because I say, this is my optimal choice for you. I want you to choose these 600 things, and this would be the total price for that. This is the thing that you told me your budget was. Here are the pieces I can do for that. And then they end up buying the one. They end up buying the one that's the one that they want.
But you've given them both choices, can I ask?
Yeah, I have to say, I never am going to say like, oh, sorry, I blew your budget and now you can't afford the proposal that I'm giving you after you paid me a fee. That would be, I can't do that. So I wouldn't. So I very diligently give them the thing that meets their budget. But then they find that they don't want that thing, and they go, oh, maybe we under budget. Maybe we just budgeted wrong. And then I say, yeah, I think you missed it a little bit, and this gets you what you want. So you let me know what you want to do, and you can choose things from both lists, and they can mix and match. And sometimes they'll say, oh, we want to do all the guest rooms like this, and we want to do it on the primary and the public rooms. We want to do all the stuff that was the top stuff. Yeah.
I find what you're saying, I've done that as well, but it just starts leading my client into a direction of taking control, where I'm the one that needs to be in control. So I give them 2 options, A or B. That's it. Then we go from the next one after that, A or B. Because I have to stay in control, and I'm kind of a control freak. So I can't give them a lot of options.
I think there's a style thing, right? Like just a client management style. I have that I'm very kind of soft with. They don't know that I'm controlling them. No, I'm not. They're telling me, and I'm reflecting it back to them. That's what's happening. Usually in a pretty guided way. So they are only getting 2 options in the end, really.
Yeah, go ahead.
What if they don't like both the options?
Oh, they do though, because I'm their designer. So they often love it. Of course they do. Yeah, because they told me what they wanted, so I'm showing them.
And typically, I will tell you, when you go down the rabbit hole of, because this happens often with indecisive people in general, just people who have a hard time making decisions. It might not be that they don't like it. It might be that they are scared, and so they might be. And I'm not, I'm just going to go down this for a minute, but they might be afraid of making that decision because they feel like it's this long-term effect decision, and so they want you to bring them more choices. And I will say, we polled our audience on this numerous times. Generally what happens is you could do 15, 20 different products. You could spend all night, all day working on that, and they're going to come back to that first and second thing after all of that work.
Right?
And then you won't won't feel comfortable billing them for all of those hours because you feel like you let that go you know? So part of that is also having that investment conversation. And you can just be upfront. Like, I can go look for, these are the two right things, right? But I can spend 20 hours looking for something else if you want, but I'm going to bill you that by hour because and it could, just so you know, it could also have a trickle down effect where it affects everything else we've already chosen. So just keep that in mind. And it kind of keeps them understanding there's a value for your time and that you have made the right choices, because this is another thing that I think is really amazing about all of you is there are literally millions of products and you're all have, and this is something Shannon says, a designer filter. It's like when you filter things out in the computer, you all have those. So you filtered out based on, does this brand have products in stock? Does this brand have a good reputation? Is the price right? Is the fabric right? There's a million little check boxes that your brain has already checked for them. And so you have made this decision based on 60 decisions. And so that's why it's the right one. That's why, because you've already done all that in your head. So I do want to ask Erin, I love that you've talked a lot on your podcast too about how great you are at selling and reading people and reading the room. And I took a long-term sales course when I was first out of college. It's like a 6-month sales training program. And there is so much to that, like mirroring people. And it's something, by the way, you can learn. You don't have, sales training is something that you all can learn. There are great videos online. There are great resources for sales training. And it's a skill you can actually practice and learn. So tell us a little bit about that for you and how you've developed that, reading people, understanding them, and really getting into it and feeling confident in the sales role.
Are we working? Okay. I would say, I tell people it's honestly my only gift. Like, I have that gift. I'm really bad at a lot of things, but for some reason, I do have that gift of reading people. And when I say that, so many people come to you because they have no idea. They have no idea. They don't even know where to start. They don't even know, like, sometimes even what a sofa costs. I mean, that's why the investment guide is a really good thing, because they haven't even shopped for furniture in, 20 years. But I think, like, the whole idea of reading people is, like, really understanding who they are, what their family's like. What are they, how do they entertain? Do they have kids? Do they work? Like, what do they do in their life? What do they value? I mean, that's a huge thing. What do they value? How do they want to live better? And then you become just really solution-oriented rather than trying to sell this, fabulous sofa. It's not about the fabulous sofa. It's, does the fabulous sofa fit into their lifestyle and to fit into their goals, of how they want to live? But it's your job to understand what that is, because, again, a lot of people they have no idea. And they're coming to you for that guidance, of really, truly understanding, what they want. I mean, so many people have no idea what they want, and that's where you come in, of the solution oriented. Does that answer it?
Yeah, it really does, because I think that is so true, and there is an informed consent process to that too. So you're in that conversation, you're also getting the informed consent.
Yeah, we're also kind of therapists. I mean, we get that a lot, right? So when we're first starting to talk to them, and I tell them, we're going to go deep a little bit here because I have to know some things about you before I can really make those informed decisions, right? So asking all the questions. I mean, I was a journalism major, and I was a journalist, so before design, so that probably, I think some of the best designers are really curious ones because they want to know all the things, right? We want to know all of the things to be able to provide that right solution. Details, yeah. And so even if they give you like some little detail that, just like sparks something in you of like, oh, they love that, I could see them really, going down this path, so it's like, it's that therapy of being able to, truly put it all together.
So I'm going to ask if you ever in your career felt guilt about upselling because you also make money on the product that you're recommending.
Never.
You're recommending it.
I've never felt guilty.
Never?
No.
Oh, wonderful.
Because I work like 100 hours a week and I have a huge team and someone has to pay the bills.
Right.
Yeah.
So even early on?
Oh, that's awesome.
Well, actually, yeah, early on, but then one of the things that someone told me.
And you can all feel free to come in and sit down. Sit down. Come sit down.
That's right. Guilty.
Come sit down.
One of the things that
There's
was really-
definitely open seats, so come sit down. Be
So
with us.
Thanks so much.
Yeah.
One of the things that was really transformative that I heard about, I don't know, 6 or 7 years ago was people have to stop thinking about what they would pay for something.
Yeah.
They have to stop thinking about like what is out of your personal, me, Aaron's price range. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what I would do. It's about your client. You have to stop thinking that way.
Yep.
And that was really like, that was a moment for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Christopher, you said this similar thing, and I loved that at one of the last panels. Tell us a little bit about how you came to that feeling. Like what?
It was early on, and like a mentor taught me, don't impose your budget on the clients. Exactly what you said. Like you said, well, yeah, what we can afford, what we think is expensive, is not at all expensive to our ideal clients who we're serving in this room. Like it's, unless you're like, extremely wealthy, and if you are, bravo. I wasn't, I have to work for a living, so like my budget is not my clients, and it takes a
You're
while
not
to
that
get
Kennedy.
there.
You're not that
I'm
Kennedy.
kind of Kennedy, but like it took me a while to get there, and it took me a while not to feel guilty too. Like our clients are going to spend money somewhere. If they're calling you, they're building a home, they're furnishing a home, they're going to spend the money. It's, are they going to spend it with you?
Right.
So they're going to buy that sofa at our rates or on
Yeah,
Parish or whatever. And if they've chosen you, if they vibe with you, if they like you, wouldn't they rather give the money to someone who they know, who they're already hiring, who they want to be successful, who they've chosen to invest in? They would much rather give the money to you than they would probably, if they're good people, and I think a lot of people are good people, they probably would much rather spend the money with you than online or at Walmart or Amazon. So let's make it easy for them to do that, and let's not feel bad about it.
Yeah.
Because you're going to take care of them. And
Yeah.
an online, faceless website isn't going to take care of them the way that you're going to take care of them.
Oh,
Yeah, and I would also say this, I think you think this too, is like, people have no idea how much we're thinking about them day and night.
they do not.
Yeah. Like they have no idea how much their thoughts, like, I think about them day and night when they're working for them. They have no idea how hard we work for them. And if you're not doing that, then yeah, I'd feel guilty. But if you're doing that and doing your job, and I mean, you can't help it, right?
Yeah. I always say on our podcast, I'm like, I know a designer is not going to sleep tonight because they're freaking out about something that they have to tell the client tomorrow, and they don't know how to do it, and they're just panicking. There's always those moments. You do care so much. You're so intrinsically tied to emotionally to the outcome because it's your art too.
Yeah.
And I know so many designers who have, we just discussed this earlier, bought that product for the client because it just had to be in the space, or shaved some hours because it took a little longer to find the right thing than you want to bill for, and you'd feel guilty about doing that. But I want to just caution you in this moment to recognize, in those, the second before you do it, just like give yourself a pause and literally take a moment. What would this project look like without you? Erase you from the picture. They'd still have breakage. They'd still have a hard time finding certain products. They would still be searching for the right couch or lamp or whatever. So don't think that your time is not worth the time, even if it was longer than you expected it to be. And it's okay for you to make money. I mean, I have to keep saying it because we keep talking about in this 13 years of being in the interior design community is still the number one question is, how do I make more money in this business? There are real issues with maximizing profit. And I want all of you to leave here with the idea that you can do that by really being such a great product expert. I also want to ask you, do you think that it's best practice to present the best product first, even if it is out of budget?
I do. That's what's going to be in my rendering. That's what's going to be in the mood board. And that's what is going to likely, if I, unless I see that there's a real, it's a hard budget. Like sometimes there's a hard budget, and that's I'm going to put the best thing that I can find that meets the hard budget. But when I know that they're there for a creative endeavor with us and that they really are at, a lot of times we're so lucky in our field that we get to meet people at these transitional periods in their lives. They're having grandchildren children or they're empty nesting, and it's like they have optimism and they got a little scratch and they want to have a creative endeavor, and you are their tour guide for that. We are, and that is really a huge high honor. And so I want to give them the thing that I hear them saying that they want, if I think they can possibly get there. So those are the things that are going to be in the soft sell tools before the render and the mood board, you know. And I'm going to have acquainted them with those brand names so that they know, you know, and those names. So when they see it on their proposal, they're like, oh, I know that brand. I've heard of that brand, and those things. I need to come back to a point though that you were making, Laurie, because Laurie has this really awesome thing that she says when we deny ourselves our markup or our margin on something that is costly, because we are doing that thing where, is anyone here's birthday April 9th?
No.
See, my paradigm is my birthday is April 9th and no one else, you know, it's just like our budgets. Like, I can't say the birthday that we all have. Like, my budget is not the client's budget. April 9th is not your birthday. It's my birthday. You know what I mean? So I still get nervous, and Laurie knows this, that I get nervous when I see the big number of the thing, and then I see our adjusted price, and then I go to present that price, I get nervous. And I think a point that is so important to me is it's unkind to my business and my family and the community that I'm, you know, part of in the world to deny myself the profit that I've earned from doing the work. So I love what Erin and Christopher are saying over here, because it's like, I can't wait to get there, you guys. I mean,
I think you're pretty close.
16 years later, I can't wait to get there. I don't know.
Yeah, it's so true. And you have to recognize, and this is something that I think is a great exercise. We've been talking about this recently we did a little 15% profit challenge we're doing in Tears Line community. It's free. We're doing a monthly meeting it's on a Zoom. We're going through an agenda. The first meeting we just did, it has a replay, so message me on Instagram, I'll get it over to you. But we went through all of the profit leaks and inflation rates and how to make sure you're increasing profit. We're going to talk about pricing next. We're going to talk about KPIs, all of the things that will help you make a little bit more money. And one of the exercises we are having our group do is I want you to go into ChatGPT. I want you to put the last 5 years of projects, or 10, whatever you arbitrarily pick, like 6 years, 7 years, a group of projects, the date that you started on the project and the address, and then I want you to ask ChatGPT what those prices of those homes are worth today, and what they were worth the day that you started the project. And that is your revenue increase for them. For that's the equity that you built in their homes. And knowing that number even privately, but that you built, $20 million worth of equity in someone else's house, that will let you understand every time you shave that budget a little bit, every time you give a little bit extra, you're putting money in their future and you're taking money out of your future. And that's what I want you to stop doing. So if you know the number confidently, hey, I've built wealth for my clients. I've built wealth for my clients because they're able to sell that house for more money today than they did. We just went to the Vacation Rental Designer Summit, and there was a woman giving a presentation, and they had done in 10 weeks a crazy project where they, for $300,000, I don't know how they did it, but that's beside the point. Immediately after, the homeowner refinanced that house for $1 million more than it was worth the day before, and took $700,000 out of the house because they just did all this work. That's what you're doing.
Design.
That is what you're doing.
Design.
So you are building equity for someone else. So every time you give that, shaving off those hours, you're taking equity out of your own future and your retirement income and your financial future to give it to a rich person. Don't do it. So, Christopher, how do you anchor that investment guide into a visual standard? Have you created that so that is that a book that you offer? Is that a PDF?
PDF, we made in Canva.
In
It's so
Canva?
easy. You can buy templates from a variety of people online these days. Like, it's so easy, I think, to make yourself, if you're starting out, look maybe more professional than you feel. Like when I started, because I'm older, like it was really hard to build a website. Like I had to hire a graphic designer. Like there's all these tools now. Like in Canada, it's practically free that you can really make yourself look a lot more slick than maybe you feel if you're just starting out. So it's just
Etsy has some. I think there's a bunch of shops that have those Canva got like templates.
So we just did it in Canva.
Great.
So nice.
Do you? I've noticed that a lot of people are using a new tool called Loom that can take a little video, and I really like this for a lot of things, documents that you send over to clients. So particularly contracts and investment guides and the pitch, where you don't just hand it to them without talking to them about it, and it is recording you going through it.
We use it all the time.
So it's you talking about the contract, you talking about the investment guide, and your little avatar picture is a video, and you can move it around in the document. Like, this is where we make you sign off on, we don't take any returns on custom products.
Oh, that's a great.
Whatever that might
Stop
be.
doing that.
But it's very personal, and it has a real storytelling, and it feels like it's you talking to them, and it's a little bit more interactive. I love tech. I love tools like that. So think about that. Yes.
I have a question, Christopher. So the analysis that you do, like, are you updating it based on like market changes, or I mean, because it pretty much is telling them like a cost analysis of like each room, right? Or
We would use a pretty current project to get to those numbers, absolutely. Or like look at your most favorite project, like, or your best one, you're most proud of, that you want to attract more of those clients. Look at that one. It's like, I want more of this client, so let's use that project as your new baseline. So yeah, we are definitely updating it because prices are increasing all the time. And
Inflation and tariffs.
I think
Yes.
that's range.
Let's get into questions, because I want to make this interactive. So why don't you?
More question. Do you do like something maybe at the bottom of the page that's a range of, this room costs you, 40 to 60,000, whatever? Or do you do kind of like a little item like, hey, this slab is gonna cost you $4,000 and this is,
It wouldn't be item based. So like Laurie, our friend, her guide definitely has like this room that might be one of her most popular rooms on Instagram. It's showing a range or a ballpark of that room. Yeah, we're not going to give it item by item.
Because I do get a lot of sticker shock on people.
Yeah.
And it's really surprising. It's people that are living in 6 to
Yeah.
$12 homes.
Right.
And I'm like, let's buy, a $15,000 something.
They-
They're like, let's go to West Elm.
Well, if you go to West, I mean, like we did this like shopping cart recently. My husband, like 10 years ago, we got like some pushback on price. And he just went to West Elm online because it was like a vacation house. And 3 bedrooms, mid-century, not huge, like 2,200 square feet. And you can put everything in the cart. Like they sell curtains and they sell mattresses and they sell dishes, like all of it. And just add it up. It's gonna be well over $100,000. So I'm joking, you can't furnish a house for less than $250, like not with an expert maybe. So it does just really add up. And I've said that in front of a client, like, hey, go, if you don't believe me, go online and add this up. But I want to talk about upselling in terms of like how to make more money on a project.
Yes.
Do that for a second?
Let's do that.
So when I heard the topic, I was thinking about like how do we upsell and make more money? And there's a adage in sales, like your best customer is the one you already have, right? It's like when you buy something online, you buy some jeans, and they're like, hey, here's a shirt that goes with it. There's a reason that website's doing it because you've already said yes. Like the best customer is the one you already have. So something that I heard that Michael Smith does, just a name drop, is if he specs it, he sells it. So we started making more money just in the last 5 years by selling things that we were already specifying. So you guys probably already do this. So now we pretty much sell all the plumbing fixtures in the house. We pretty much sell most of the tiles, like we're procuring it. So that immediately increased our revenue without having to chase more clients or get more clients or serve another client. So I think to me, upselling is also how do you make more money on the project you already have? Something we did last year for like this new construction house. We were just finishing it and we hadn't done any of the towels or anything. And the client called and they were in Seattle and busy, like, can you just handle all the towels? Well, there's a brand here at Market called Graziosa. If you don't know it, it's beautiful. We spent, I think, 3 hours one afternoon just doing all the towels, all the linen, something else, put this proposal together. I think it was like $18,000. It took us 2 or 3 hours sent it over. The client wired money the next day. I was like, oh my God, they were so thankful. Thank you so much for handling this. Like, it was taking stress off of their plate.
Yeah.
Like, we actually solved a problem for them,
Yep.
and they were grateful, and they wired $18,000 the next day.
Yeah.
And we had a profit margin of, I don't know, maybe $6,000. So I think, to me, upselling.
I love that.
isn't
And
about-
honestly, it's also timing too. I want to throw timing in there too. I have a designer that I know that she sets on the clock that she's going to reach out to the client after the project for the outdoor. So it might be a year, it might be 18 months. She's going to give them there's a budget fatigue situation that can happen. And you want the referrals coming in. So you do little things that kind of keep people thinking about you. There's a bunch of really interesting ideas that kind of are on the customer service side that help people think of you more and give you referrals. I have another person who, and you know how you don't want to, after the punch list, you don't want to go back to the client sometimes because you don't want them to have other problems. They have a little video, a box you open, and it's a video at the end of the project they give to the client. It's a video of everybody who worked on the project saying thank you for we loved working on your project. It was so great. And in the box is a group of little snacks that they know the client likes. And then they tell the client, this is the genius part. All of that was wonderful because it's you can't be mad about a little punch list item when they just got 10 people that worked on the project saying they loved you and they loved working with you. We know there were bumps in the road, but it was so great and you were such a great client. But they also do these Easter egg things in the house. They tell them there are 6 Easter eggs hidden in your home, and you'll find them over time. They're hidden on top shelves or whatever, and each one has a little QR code for going to get a coffee or going out to dinner or something fun that makes them think of you for the next year.
Whoa. I thought
Yeah.
it was total slacker.
I know, it's so
Whoa.
fun.
They can have all my money.
I love
Yeah, it's such
Oh
a
my
little
God.
customer service moment that can keep people thinking about you and keep people referring you and keep people knowing you'll be making a little bit more money by having that happen. Any other questions?
Where do we get that?
I know. Seriously, the box
I
with the
think I
video.
can find it
got a
and
question
get it for
over
you.
here.
Yes.
This has to be along with the last question, depending on the limits specifically. But how far have you, or how far are you willing to take that process? Are we talking flatware, custom-made edition?
Oh yeah,
Turnkey. I
all of it, turnkey.
Yeah.
But the
Yeah, for
tricky part of
turnkey.
that, and Laurie and I talked about this too, is the retail items that they can clearly see, she does it as far as she'll stack color-coded the tampons in the tampon drawer. And she's like, it's really hard when the client questions the markup on things that are clearly a retail product that we purchased for them.
Yeah.
And we just say this just took time. So it's 30-40% on everything, even if it's above retail.
Oh, yeah.
But it's a service. I mean, you not doing it means they're not getting it done. You're a service worker in that way.
Yeah,
It's not the most
sorry.
personal thing.
One of the things that we do is called a day with the designer, and also when we do our install, we also have a store, so we have an install team. But when we go in, we actually decorate or whatever you want to call it. We put in all the objects, we put in all the rugs, we put in top to bottom, so it looks like that magazine cover that everybody wants.
Yeah.
And so when I'm in a meeting with a client, I'm not going to say, hey, do you like that white base? They're like, I don't know, maybe. I mean, you have to actually put it into the projects
Yes.
so people can really see it, right? And that's our biggest thing when we upsell, is that we have a whole install team that we put into the project. So talk about art. We put sometimes I put in 40 pieces of art that they have no idea about, zero idea, and we do this for other designers too. I mean that is something, because you do have to have kind of a large install team to do this, especially if you're independent designer. So we're kind of their support team, but and then we give them a price list and say, because their house looks so fabulous that they don't. They'll probably take away a few things, but the juice is worth the squeeze. Let me tell you something. Yeah. Because you give them a price list, and then they have 3 days to decide whether they want it or whether you come pick it up.
We do it too.
Yeah, I love
We-
that.
We offer turnkey at 40%. I love the do you mind?
No,
I'm
go
so
ahead.
sorry. I get excited about the personalization stuff and the little stories that you hear clients tell after. Like, so like you walk them through and you're showing them that art and stuff, and you're like, oh, and I know the artist who made this. Like
Yes.
one
Yes.
of the left bank artists is a favorite of mine and my clients, and her name is Jackie Von Tobel, and it's so good. She just does great stuff, and so I always tell clients like, I know Jackie, and then I'll show them a picture of me with Jackie, and oh my God, how often have I heard that repeated at parties? Like, and my designer knows the artist,
Yeah.
and that feels great and is fun and is beautiful art that they love, and like I'm really excited about this kind of stuff because you can personalize it, and then they literally have a thing. You know, do they love horses? They can have horses. Do they love a certain lace that their grandmother made, and you can make a custom dimensional wallpaper of a piece of lace that their grandmother made in repeat? Oh my God. I mean, that is a story they're going to tell and tell and tell and tell. And they've, you know, that's been a soft way to incorporate a better design product, a better sale for you, and a better referral. I mean, that when you are the person that gets that tour of that house and someone says, this is from my grandmother's doily, and now it's wallpaper, I'm doing that, you guys. Like, that's gonna blow their minds. They're gonna hire you. They're gonna hire you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank
Any
you.
more questions? Yes.
So, I know you just talked about, like sometimes you will put the art inside of the client's home, and then you'll show it later and send them a price list. The reason you're doing that because you don't want to like go over the budget then, and you kind of like want to surprise them, or what's the whole?
That's a very fair question. I would say a lot of things. A lot of times, you know, it's hard for someone to commit to a piece of art without really seeing it first. Even if it's in like our showroom, it's just hard to even picture it in their house because of scale and color and light and all the things. And you know, you're the expert, so you know that it's going to look really good, right? You know it will, but sometimes they just have to see it.
Yeah.
That's what I would say.
Yeah.
Does that answer?
Yeah,
Okay.
I agree with that.
We do that, but we also like have it budgeted. So like on our furnishings proposal, we're gonna have a lump sum. Sorry. It depends on the size of the project, but we're gonna have a lump sum that's gonna say artwork and accessories at designer's discretion. So you're not gonna see it in advance. It's gonna be in the house when you arrive and we do the whole big reveal. And it is budgeted, but they haven't seen it in advance.
Okay. So it's not
So you
nothing where you're doing it because you went over budget, right?
No.
No, I got
No.
that.
No. We're doing it because it also just the time it takes for like to show every single piece. You never get anything done.
No.
They have to trust you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do that too, but it's like on install day, I tell them, the photographer's coming, we're gonna put extra
Yes.
pieces in your house.
Yes.
We're gonna leave them with you for 3 days and you can tell us if you want. In the meantime, we're gonna send you a price,
Yeah.
send you how much it costs, and we'll come take away whatever you don't want. 100% of the time, they buy everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, they
If
do.
they can afford it or not. They want
Yeah.
it, because they're like,
They
oh my
love
God,
it.
this looks great, it was photographed, it's on her Instagram,
Right.
oh my God.
And that's what they hired you for. Like they want that magazine moment, that house that feels done. Like they want the books on the coffee table, they want the vase, they want the candles. They can't do it themselves. So really, it's that last 10% that is what makes it feel like a designer has touched the
Yes,
spot.
and it gives them that reveal moment too, because they've seen the finishes you picked going in, but they, you know, when it comes in and it's got the plants and the art that Erin brought and all the things, they're like, and then you get the tears.
Yeah, and then the punch list is a lot smaller.
Yeah.
And then your heart is full and you are whole.
Done. Mic drop.
Yes.
Do you get pushback on that? Like, how would you handle that if a client said, well, I can just go get that stuff on my list?
That's not your client.
You can only help the willing.
Yeah, that's not your ideal client. They don't want to do it on their own.
Well, but I never put things in it that they can get on their own.
Yeah, they
Oh,
can. They also don't have the
vintage and-
I
resources.
don't go to Home Goods and get stuff.
Right.
It's already stuff that I have in my store
There you go.
that I bought at Global News, whatever.
Mhm.
Half the time the people actually are coming to you because they don't know how to make the chocolate cake, but they want a chocolate cake.
Yeah.
We know the ingredients, so we know we're gonna put the flour and the chocolate and the sugar and the salt, and it's the combination of how much. You're not gonna put a pound of this, a pound of that, a pound of that, a pound of that.
I mean, you put
It's gonna
those
look
pieces
like
in the
something
right
else
spot
together.
too. You
So we
put the
know
art where it
ingredients
needs to
and
be.
how much to put
Yeah.
into the
Yeah.
room.
Yeah.
So you wanna go ahead and give the whole room look,
Yeah.
and then surprise them, and you let them know ahead of time, Because you have to plant the seed across the town all the way through until the very end.
Yes.
I encourage them to entertain on that night.
Oh, yeah.
I'm like, we're gonna come do it. We're gonna have the photographer through. I usually have like a quick scout photography, through, and then I say, have a cocktail party because your house is gonna look incredible. There's gonna be floral. There's gonna be everything, and it's fun.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we had an incident where, I usually do that, install, I said to photographer coming, because yes, once they see the photos or even see the house done, you can sell all the items that you put. But what if the client had already purchased stuff and the next day when you come to decorate, it's already all decorated with their pillows, their, accessories. How then do you deal with the fact that,
Jeez.
my favorite
now your project is
I think you let them know ahead of time about what photography is and that's a process, right?
Yeah.
So you're like, this is not real living. We're gonna come in, we're gonna put all of our beautiful things out. We're gonna take your things out because we want the vision of the photography to be the way that we've designed it. Don't be insulted. It's part of the process of getting the right photos. It's not real, like the photography side is not really how people live. If you ever are on a photo shoot, you know that every other room besides the room you're photographing at that moment is a disaster. And everything is like moved into a room after you've photographed it so you can put it back exactly where it was. And it's a process. So it's theater. But I will tell you, I've been to photo shoots where they did buy things like that, and then you came in with your things, and they've realized, oh shoot, we did make a mistake. We should have just gotten the things that you did, and they do work with you after that for that.
I think it's the guilt factor, that they feel like
Yeah,
the client is really sweet and everything else, but then
you're not
it's like,
insulting them.
oh,
You're not insulting them. You're just like,
Yeah.
your stuff is great. There's an editorial eye to this, and
Right.
we're doing everything to the editorial eye. Like everything in a magazine is shot portrait, right? So we have to look at everything through that portrait lens. And what you put right here could be out of a person's head. A plant could be that is the stuff that the photographer has to look at to make sure that the photographs are as good as they can be. Any other questions? Well, thank you so much for being here. This was so fantastic. And if you have any questions at all, also always feel free to reach out to me on Instagram, at Interior Design Community, and reach out to Left Bank because this cements, I think it's going to be a huge seller. I really do.
I'm excited to do that
I'm
doily
so
thing.
excited. She's got a project already for it.
Yeah.
I'm doing a doily. I'm bringing doilies back.
Doilies are
I
coming
called
back.
it. Remember,
All right.
here today.
Yes.
Doilies on
Thank
pianos.
you so much for your time. It's lovely to see you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And this is so good.
Like I love that.
I'm sorry, no, I don't know.
Thank you so much.
Oh, thank you so